And it was a very big problem. At the time, my life was in total chaos. I'd gone through a divorce, bankruptcy, a foreclosure, a deep state of depression. I had been homeless for 2 years, living in a car. So who was I to say that I could do something? But again, intuitively, there was a part of me that said, Michael, you have to do something. And so I believe in miracles. Anybody here believe in miracles? You see, Albert Einstein once said that there's only two ways to look at life. One is as if everything is a miracle, and two is if nothing. I mean, if nothing is a miracle, number one, or two is if everything is a miracle. And I believe everything is a miracle. I believe everything happens for a reason. And so here's a miracle that occurred for me that put me on the path of transformation. I was sitting up late one night because I was too depressed to sleep. And I was sitting on the edge of my bed. And I looked across the room and I looked at my bookshelf and I noticed that all the books on my bookshelf had something to do with making money and getting rich. And I had a lot of books. And as I looked at those books, this question just popped in my head. And the question was this: Michael, what if you took all the energy and effort you've used in trying to get rich and simply learn how to be happy? Now, as simplistic as that question might sound, it literally changed my life in an instant. Something in me shifted. And all of a sudden, I knew what I wanted and needed to do, which was to simply figure out how to be happy. Because I remembered what happiness felt like, but I realized that I hadn't felt that in a very, very long time. And I had done everything society said you're supposed to do to be happy. I had the house, the wife, the 2.5 kids, the vacations, and all of that. But I was absolutely miserable. And I couldn't figure out why. And so, after asking myself this question, I began what I'll call my journey of transformation. And I stopped reading books on getting rich and making money. And I started reading books on philosophy and psychology and metaphysics and spirituality and personal development. And I took this deep dive into who Michael Taylor really was. And I read literally hundreds of books. And so after a couple of years, I started putting my life back together. Things started to come around. I was feeling pretty good, but I hadn't got to that happiness yet. And I couldn't figure out why. And then I read a book by a guy named John Bradshaw. Anybody hear of John Bradshaw? John Bradshaw was a psychologist. Unfortunately, he passed away a couple of years ago. And in one of his books, John Bradshaw said this. He said, in order to heal, you must be willing to create an interpersonal bridge with another human being. That's the only way you can learn how to connect with others. And I recognized that was the problem that I had. I didn't know how to connect with others. And so in his book, he talked about the importance of either joining a support group or going to therapy or doing something that allows you to connect. And so after reading that, I realized that that was a missing piece for me. And so I decided that I would go to therapy. Now, I know in our culture and society, and especially for men of color, we are taught that as men, we aren't supposed to show vulnerability. And it's seen as being weak to ask for support. And I will say that the three most difficult words for any man to say is, I need help. And so right now what I want to do is I want to destigmatize that. There is absolutely nothing wrong with saying, I need help. Because it's the first step in transformation. is the first step in changing your life. And so, by being willing to say, I need help, I gave the courage and the strength to truly transform my life from the inside out. And that is our work, transforming our lives from the inside out. And so my area of expertise is the changing roles of manhood and masculinity in society. Because I personally believe that it isn't until we redefine masculinity that we can really transform our society and communities. Because when you look at most of the social ills in our society, it can be directed towards men being trapped in what I'll call an antiquated paradigm of masculinity. One of those things is that we have been taught as men